Faith in the Valley-Kern is a network of congregations, like Anthony mentioned, multi-faith and multiracial, represents over 15 congregations and about 120 congregations across the whole Central Valley. So our mission is to bring about justice, eliminate the suffering of our folks, and empower grassroots leaders, faith leaders, to speak out for their communities and to organize in their communities. I just want to mention that we're echoing events across the Central Valley today with Faith in the Valley, from Stockton, Modesto, Merced, Fresno, all the way down, in concert with this pre-inauguration moment that we're in.
We're here to offer this interfaith prayer vigil in order to lift up the fears of some of the immigrant and other community who feel that their belonging to this country has been threatened in the recent events of our election in 2016 and this inauguration that is coming up. So in order to start us off, we're going to start off with the convocation.
Let's hear the words of the prophet. He has shown you, O people, what is good and what the Lord requires of you, to act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. Let us pray. Almighty God, creator of all that is, eternal Father and Mother of all who live, we come to you at this crossroad, this unexpected turn in the course of our common history, the inauguration of a president of the United States of America, whose manner, character, values, understanding, and goals appear to run so counter to our own. You alone, most gracious God, prove every heart and hear every cry. You alone judge each one. We ask that you would grant us humility and guard us from the sin of self-righteousness. We ask that you would purify our hearts and save us from the sins of cynicism and disrespect. Grant us, O God, discernment, peace, and grace to see, encourage, and support all that is good, and grant us strength, selfless courage, and wisdom to speak truth, challenge evil, defend all which is threatened, and to relentlessly seek justice for our world. For it is thee we worship, and from thee we seek help. Amen.
My son was one of the statistics that ended up in the school line pipeline to prison. He was unable to graduate from high school, got in trouble with the law, made a mistake as a juvenile, and pretty much was not able to graduate, get any job experience or any type of counseling or rehabilitation. His future is ended. Basically right now he's homeless, on drugs, and there's nothing I could do for him right now, and it's pretty hard. I don't wish this upon any parent. It's a nightmare that I'm living through, and I have a 13-year-old son, and I don't want him to be another statistic. So I'm standing up and speaking realistic of what's going on out there.
We make up 5% of the world's population, but we take up 25% of the world's prisoners. That shows how much mass incarceration is, how much the highest rates are in the United States. It is not cheap to incarcerate someone. It costs a lot of money, it's very expensive. It costs $62,300 to incarcerate a person a year. But on the other hand, to educate someone a year, it's only $9,000. Education is more effective than incarcerating someone and throwing away the key. Taking a look throughout history, back in 1980, there were 513,000 prisoners. By 2014, there were 2,306,000 prisoners. And statistics show by 2001, 878,000 were African Americans. I'm really not pleased with the new election. I'm not pleased with our new president. Trump, after he was elected, stocks for the prison industry increased tremendously. So I'm just afraid to see how much bigger the prison population will become throughout or over the next 4 years. I am not only afraid of how much prisoners will be incarcerated, but I'm afraid for my children. I have 2 babies. They're babies now, but will this occur in our future? I am especially terrified for my son because one out of every third African American male is incarcerated, and that's a lot. That's a lot. So I'm basically here to come together with our community so that we can stand to try to end mass incarceration.
Estoy aquí para reiterarles a cada una de las familias que estamos en la lucha por los derechos de cada uno de ellos, y para recordarles a los estudiantes de DACA que estamos de igual manera luchando para que sigan con su sueño y que no sea quitada ese beneficio que ya hoy tienen. Y también pedirles a las diferentes localidades, a las ciudades alrededor, que se unan a nosotros para hacer de cada una de las ciudades un santuario también, y que sepan que estamos trabajando juntamente con Fe en el Valle para que cada una de esas acciones que hoy por hoy se han tomado en contra de los inmigrantes no tomen un efecto más hacia adelante que pueda perjudicar a cada uno de ellos. Y pues solo invitarlos nuevamente a que por favor no tengan miedo, conozcan sus derechos y que Fe en el Valle está para ayudarlos.
I'm here today because I'm appalled, and I have very strong feelings about the ACA, about Affordable Health Care Act. Mostly know about the Obamacare. People associate that name with it. I'm here because I believe this is not, I don't want to talk about politics, because that to me is not about politics. It is about the lives of the people that will be tremendously changed if they do take away the ACA, as no one say Obamacare. I'm one of those people, of millions of people in the United States, and thousands here in the Kern County District that would be affected if no longer we have affordable health care. I myself, I'm battling 2 lung diseases that don't have no cure. I have pulmonary hypertension and COPD. None of those 2 are curable diseases, but they're also manageable disease. Because of the Obama Health Care Act, I'm able to take medication to expand my life and to be a part of society. I work every day, just like thousands of you, like every one of you, every day. I pay my taxes, and I'm a productive part of society. But I cannot afford health care. Not if it wasn't for this program. To me, it is being responsible about stating that they will remove this program without having a backup plan, without having something better, without even fixing the loopholes where they say that doesn't work. Don't say you're going to take it away if you don't have nothing better to show for it. It is irresponsible. We are dealing with people's lives every day. Lives will be lost, jobs will be affected, people will be in the streets. We're going to be seeing more homelessness, more mental people in the streets without the health care they need to survive and to become a healthy part of society. One of the things that they need to understand is they threaten people's lives. I'd be one of those people that be scared if I wake up the next day and they tell me they no longer, this program exists. Because I myself cannot afford my medication. I try. Last month I went to my pharmacist and sorry. And I requested my medications list. It is over $4,000. That's more than what I make a month. That's twice of what I make a month. There's no way I would survive. The decision they were forced me to make, if this program is abolished, is to pay for the roof over my head or the medication to save my life. How could you choose? It is impossible. We as a nation here need to get together. We need to care about each other. We need to care about the people besides ourselves in our lives, because we as a nation need to come together. As stronger we can make the power, we can make mountains move, but we need to be united. Everybody needs to be on board because his lives are being affected. I want to thank the Faith of the Valley for giving us this opportunity to have a voice, to reach out to other people. I ask for you to please contact your friends and families, anybody that's able to speak and able to do something, to have a voice, to use it. It is too important not to get involved. Too many lives are being at stake here. We're not talking about politics again. Regardless your gender, your color, your nation, where you came from, it doesn't matter. We are just one, and that is the human race, and we deserve to have health care that is affordable and to save people's lives. That's all we ask. It isn't responsible for this government to even talk about the possibility of discontinuing a program without having something to offer us. We can't do that. We need to make a stand. It is too important not to.
I've been residing here in Kern County for about 9 years now. So before moving here, I really wasn't aware about the environment here, how the pollution here is one of the worst throughout the nation. So I quickly learned that as my health quickly deteriorated here. So one of the important things to know is, in comparing Kern County to, or not only Kern County, but the Central Valley altogether, in comparison to the US, Fresno, Bakersfield, and Visalia are ranked in the top 5 for ozone pollution and particle pollution. So those greatly affect your health. It's not something we see, so we could really fear because it's not visible. But as someone who's sensitive to those pollutants, I could tell you they're there, and my life is greatly changed because of them. And now I have to wear this mask when the air quality is bad, which is about 90% of the time in this county. And the interesting thing about wearing this is that I'm visible to everybody when I walk out the door, that there's something wrong with me. And what I really enjoyed is that it sparks a conversation, because people ask, why are you wearing that? And I go, this air. And quickly, everybody gets it. But the sad thing is, they're quick to respond. I should get that from my daughter, from my mother, from my grandfather, from my uncle. Because everyone here knows someone directly who's suffering because of the pollution here. So that's a great concern, especially with threats to our environmental protection agencies, because we know that industries that thrive on polluting this world are not going to regulate themselves. And so it's important to have these institutions, and that these institutions are funded. And that doesn't occur unless people in the community get involved and demand those things. Otherwise, they'll continue to be as status quo. So that's why I'm here, and I find that it's really important for us to get involved and make sure that we take these things serious and see the human connection, because we think of pollution as something that's bad, but we often forget to see the connection. And so that's something that I really can testify to, because I struggle with this every day. And because of it, unfortunately, I'm looking to move out of the state altogether.
Now, you've heard some stories from people about how diverse our community is, right? We have immigrants living in our community. We have all these different people who are living and thriving with us. And what we'd like to say as Faith in the Valley is that we're standing in solidarity against any policies that will threaten these communities.
We are a multi-faith organization, and we will be standing across all faiths, across all traditions, across all of our leaders, on behalf and on the side of all of the people who are fearing, who are overcome with fear at tomorrow, what tomorrow signifies, the beginning of a new administration that has made promises to harm a lot of the people. And in that tone, I read this statement from Temple Bethel's Rabbi Cheryl Rosenstein. She says, "The Jewish tradition teaches the whole world is a very narrow bridge, and the main thing is not to fear at all. We take courage from the hands that we hold, from the values we hold dear, and from the knowledge that we are held safely in the hands of the one whose holy light is reflected in each and every soul." We as Faith in the Valley are going to be standing on behalf of each and every soul, and we will hold hands and stand in courage together with our brothers and sisters who are impacted and who are fearing what is to come next.
I'm not here to challenge the repeal of the Affordable Care Act. We have heard that there is a plan which is going to be better and less expensive. We've even been told that it will be beautiful. But when we ask what is the plan, we're told no one can tell us yet. Does Congress know about this plan? If so, why the confusion? So I am here to ask, how many people will suffer needlessly or even die during the vacuum that has been created between the repeal of the Affordable Care Act and the start of a new health care plan? I'm not naive. I know that not everyone who enters this country wishes us well, and I'm not saying that we should admit those who would cause us harm. But we have a vetting system in place where we screen potential immigrants. Do we really want to target those innocent people who come from a particular part of the world or belong to a particular faith? Can we as Americans support such profiling? And for those who are already here, should they have to live in fear of deportation? Particularly our young people who were brought here as babes in arms and have never lived anywhere else, who want an education that will allow them to contribute to our economy. Should families be split apart? All three of the monotheistic religions, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, share the story of Abraham and Sarah, who showed hospitality to strangers and received God's reward. I'm not here to say that we should not use the resources of our earth, but we need to remember that in the act of creation, God gave to humanity dominion over the earth, not domination. We need to use our resources in ways that are sustainable, careful, and accessible to all, both now and in the future. So why am I here? I am here to ask one thing only of our new president and his cabinet, both houses of Congress, and members of the Supreme Court. Please, govern with compassion.
So to close it up, one last time, we want to reiterate that as Faith in the Valley, we are standing in solidarity with the Muslims, the Sikh brothers and sisters, our immigrant brothers and sisters, anybody who has felt that any policy that our new president is going to implement threatens their existence in our country. We are standing with you. We are with you. Thank you for your time.